Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. If you are watching this and you notice that the screen looks a little different, well, your boy got a new laptop, so things are going to be changing. We are actually at some point this year, I don't know when, we are going to be doing in-person podcasts. Not going to be every episode, but it's going to be a good bit of them. So, very excited about that. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. And at the time of this dropping, I hope you guys had a great New Year. It's gotten super cold down here in Georgia, so make sure you guys are staying warm. This episode it was a last minute one. It's with my good buddy Andy Freeman from AA Outdoors TV. Long story short, there was some stuff that had to get moved around, so I texted Andy. I was like, "Hey, dude, you haven't been on in a long time for a singular episode, so we're just gonna see where this one goes." Um, Before I get into that, got to jump on the partners. Um, all the links and good Lord, all the links to the websites and the promo codes will be listed in the description below. Make sure that you guys go support these guys. That they are what helps this podcast do what we're doing and grow the way that we're growing, and I'm very thankful for it. So yeah, let's get into that before we get started with Andy. This podcast is brought to you by the Sportsman's Empire. If you haven't heard, we are under that umbrella now, officially, but like the paperwork's signed, everything's done, but we have not started getting set up yet on that. So that's going to be coming in the next few weeks. But definitely go check them out. There's like a million different good podcasts that are on there. It's really not a million. It's probably like 10 or 15. But Dan Johnson's an awesome dude. If you go check out the Sportsman's Empire podcast list, and if you want to check out the Nine Finger Chronicles podcast, just awesome content, dude. Awesome stuff. Let's see. Next up is Osseo Gear. Going to be putting that to the test this week because I'm going hunting on New Year's Day and it is going to be freezing cold. So I will be. I'll definitely be bundled up for sure. But I trust Osseo. They've never let me down. So if you guys want some new camo, go check them out. Next up, Summit Tree Stands. Climbers is their name of the game. I really do like my dual threat Pro SD. It's been working pretty well this year, so very thankful for that. They just dropped a couple of new things. I think they dropped like a new mesh seat and a mesh seat bundle with some pads. I should be more prepared for that, but honestly, the holidays have been draining me. So yeah, go check out Summit. Go support those guys. The Boutique, best arrow wraps in the game. Berkey Bowsmith. He is a dealer for a lot of the companies that we all use, and he is also a bow wizard, basically, is what I call him. G5 Outdoors, that is my broadhead of choice. I am running the Mega Meats. Looking to make a couple of changes next year as far as like weight and all that stuff, but I'll still be running the Mega Meats. Probably going to drop from 125 to 100 just because I want a little bit more speed out of my bow. But the broadheads have never failed, at least for me. So I choose G5. I mean, the Mega Meat to me is the best broadhead ever been made. Next up is Prime Archery. They've got the new Divide that comes in 6 or 7 inch brace height and 31, 33, 35, and 37 axle to axle length. So that all ranges from I think 40 pounds to 80 or 50 pounds to 80, something like that. But those new bows are sick, man. I still haven't gotten to shoot them yet, but definitely planning to. Once deer season's over, I'm gonna have a lot more free time. So I will get to go shoot those and, hopefully get to get one later this year. That is kind of the plan right now. Next up is Dialed Archery. Got the Dialed Proof. Look out for those small batches. You'll see it on social media and all that stuff. I love my Proof. They have the new Strike and the Proof also. So those are two different sights. One is a mover sight, one is not. And they also have the Mag 3 VA, which is a single pin, or technically it's a single pin, but it's really a multi-vertical pin is what they've come out with this year. And it's all adjustable. Dude, it's super sick. Toughest sight on the planet. Then we got Moultrie. Loving my Moultries. If you guys need some new cameras for the off season, go check out the new Edge 3 and the Edge 3 Pro. They also have the Edge Solar. I'm currently running the Edge 2 and the Edge 2 Pro just because I haven't really needed more cameras. But yeah, Moultrie stuff is working flawlessly, so definitely go check those guys out. Let's see. We got the Bow Hunting League. So I talked with Ben today. All of you that have killed bucks, you will be getting shirts. All of you that are state sponsors, you will be getting banners and shirts. And if you guys want to be a state sponsor, reach out to me or go to the link provided below and go join. Go become a state sponsor for Georgia, especially if you're living in Georgia. That's the only way you're really going to be able to do it. But if you do that, tell them that we sent you because yeah, it just helps me out. It helps them out. And I want all of you to join. It's only $100 a year and you get a ton of perks. Let's see. Next up, boning archery. Not really too much to say on that one. I mean, I'm still using the same veins I've been using. I love them. Best veins I've ever used, to be honest. I right now the veins that I've used, I really do love those veins. And I'm running the alphas. Let's see. We got Scrape Doctor. So scrapes are kind of dead right now. I think I have like one or two community scrapes that I probably need to go freshen up. I just haven't had the time. But the Scrape Doctor stuff works. I've had the best results from that stuff. So very thankful to him. Go support James. Let's see. We got Victory Archery. So I'm running the HLRs this year. Probably going to run those into next year. They have an entire new lineup. I know I've seen all of them, but it's so hard to remember. I know they have the VLR, which if I'm not mistaken is a new arrow size. I think it's 225, which is crazy. I mean, it seems like they're bridging the gap between, 5 millimeter and the standard diameter. Interesting to see how that's going to turn out. I love everything Victory does, so I'm sure it's going to be a hit. And last but not least is Catalyst Archery, which is a new partner to the podcast. I say new, it's really like a month old, but um, excuse me, Catalyst is a stabilizer company. And the cool thing I like about Catalyst and why I decided to work with them is because they make a high quality product at an affordable price. And I'm not saying that to sound like some sort of salesman. I'm saying that because it's true. If you can see the video, you see my two stabilizers back there. Those are Catalyst stabilizers. I'm running a 10-inch front bar, 8-inch back bar. I love it, man. I never thought stabilizers would matter as much as these did. I was just running some rinky-dink, stabilizers before, and I got these, and my bow is way more stable. Kind of crazy how much it changed. So if you guys want to go support those guys, go over to catalystarchery.com, check them out, use the code we got, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. So that is all the partners. Some big things coming, some big guests lined up. I'm really excited for what's coming up in 2026. We're going to have a ton of different changes. And the one thing that never changes, though, that I want to talk to you guys about is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have been struggling with some stuff behind the scenes as of late. And, typical things that I just continuously seem to fall to. And I don't know why. And that can cause people to not lose faith, but have doubts. And let me just tell you guys about my God. Jesus meets you where you are. Okay. We all fall short of the glory of God, right? I've said that a million times in the past couple of weeks. And, we had Christmas, and that day kind of showed me something where it's all about depending on Jesus. Okay. We cannot save ourselves. It's not possible. If that was the case, Jesus never would have came. But because of what he did on the cross, we now have hope and we have the chance to have a relationship with him and to have eternal life with him when our time here is over. Now, I'm only 30 years old, right? But a lot of y'all are maybe up, further up in the years. And if you haven't given it a thought or you haven't actually gotten a relationship with Jesus, I highly, highly recommend that you do. Even though I still struggle with stuff, I know that he's there to catch me when I fall, and I know that he's there to lift me up above these things that I've been struggling with. And I mean, even let's just use deer season as an example. I've killed one deer. Haven't really seen that many deer this year. A lot of people have had a rough year. One of the main reasons why I keep going is because I know that I've got the Lord by my side, right? And I know a lot of people hear that and be like, "Oh, we shouldn't bring." No, it's all connected. Okay, when you're out in nature and you see what the Lord made, you know that He's with you, and to have a relationship with Him is just life altering. It's life changing. It's the best decision I ever made. And even in the lowest parts of that, even in the worst parts of what happens on a daily basis, he's still there. And to have that and know that he's always going to be there, not even just be there, but like help me out of things, and not even just me too. He's there for all of us. Um, you just have to believe. You have to do your best to carry your cross, pick up your cross, and follow him. That is what is required of us. And there is no way to work your way into heaven. It's all It's all about the relationship with the Lord. Have faith. We're saved by grace through faith. So yeah, that is my preacher moment. That's the intro with the partners and all that stuff. So thank you guys for listening. I hope all of y'all are having a great holidays, meaning Christmas and New Year's. Please be safe, stay warm, and let's get started with Andy Freeman from AA Outdoors TV. My buddy, my good buddy, the man that's seen my archery journey from day one, basically. Mr. Andy Freeman, this local celebrity from AA Outdoors TV, Mr. Big Buck Killer, Mr. I'm going to tag out. I'm going to kill every doe in the state because the rest of us can't. Dude, you have been on a absolute tear, it feels like this year. I mean, before we dive into it, what's been going on with you? What's going on? You enjoying this hot weather that now we're back into frigid temps, or how's all that?
Not at
How's all
all.
that treating you?
The weather has sucked, to be honest. I don't like it at all.
The heat or the
The
cold?
heat, the heat. I
Oh,
love the cold. I wish this cold would have came through over the Christmas holiday because I
yeah,
probably would have
dude.
shot two more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what it is about Georgia, man. We either have cold weather or we have warm weather. And I
That's
mean, like during the holidays, because I
that's
remember a
Georgia.
time I was like 10 years old. It was 80 degrees on Christmas, and
Yeah.
it's not right to be wearing a t-shirt and shorts Christmas morning.
No,
I want to
no,
be
dude.
bundled up. Like I had this big so I'm sure you guys do the same thing, but my wife's got a it seems like an obsession that every year we do matching Christmas sweaters or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
So she got I'm glad there's no pictures. Actually, there are pictures. People
I'm sure they are.
mistakes. Yeah, she got these two sweaters. One of them says cookie, so she wears that, and then the other one said official cookie taster, and I wore that. Yeah, and
That's
then
funny.
she got us these matching Stitch sweatpants, like Stitch the alien from Disney,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and I had to wear that Christmas Day when it was 75 degrees outside.
How'd that make you feel?
Oh, dude, I hate the heat. So I'm over here sweating like crazy. Just, we're all giving gifts and stuff and hanging out with the family. And I look at Jess, I'm like, can I go change now, please? Because I brought
Please.
extra clothes. I knew I was going to be hot. So I was like, can I please go change? She's like, well, wait till we take the family picture. I went ahead and just at least threw my jeans on. And then when they wanted to take the photo, I just put the sweatpants over the jeans, took the photo, dropped them suckers, and went right back to it. Took the sweater off, had a t-shirt on.
Man,
It was nice. It was nice. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
But
telling you, this weather's been something else. It's killed the deer movement. I'm telling you. I mean,
oh,
it's just
dude.
been nothing.
So all right. So I wanted to talk to you about that, like concerning how our seasons went, because it's been a consistent thing that I've been saying on the podcast all season is, oh, the deer movement's dead. I think since like, I mean, really October, late-ish October, maybe you know what? No, maybe not October. I would say second week of November when we got that first heat wave. Ever since then, it's just been so slow.
It slowed
And
way down.
I couldn't figure out why. And I talked to Chip over at Newbern Taxidermy, and he was telling me that what he figured out is with the huge acorn crop we had this year and the temperatures that these deer were just hiding off in oak bottoms and they weren't moving anywhere. I mean, did you see anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, the acorn crop this year was ridiculous. I have never seen this many acorns. I mean, it was unheard of. It was just crazy. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they had to go nowhere to eat. I mean, they might have to go 25 yards to eat and go lay back down. I mean, they ain't got
Yeah.
to go nowhere.
See, and it pissed me off too, because like, in Georgia we feed, right? So I'm constantly
Right.
like, oh, just get more food out. They'll be there. And the money I spent in food, I probably could have got more Christmas presents had I just not done that. Like it
Probably.
was ridiculous. And even today, I went and put food out today because I'm planning to hunt on the first.
I
And
did too.
yeah, I haven't seen anything. All my activities at night. I mean, I've got this probably 4-year-old 10 point, or
Yeah.
no, he's really like an 11, but um there's this 4-year-old buck that's been kind of coming around again, and he's only there at nighttime. I haven't had a single deer in daylight in like a week, at least a week.
I haven't
So
had one buck daylight picture in since probably Thanksgiving. They all at night.
dang, holy crap. What do you
The
think?
eight pointer,
Why?
the eight pointer that was with the deer I killed, he's he showed back up, but it's always at night. I have no daylight picture. He broke one of his beams off, so hopefully I get to hunt him next year. He's still
Sure you will.
around.
I mean, you guys take good care of that property, so I wouldn't really be surprised. So, all right, I want to talk about your season. So, run us through the beginning of your season to now, because you were tagged out. You've been tagged out for like what, a month?
November the 8th.
So, wow, almost 2 months.
Almost 2
Holy
months on
crap,
bucks,
dude.
yeah.
Good Lord. All
It
right,
was
so
fun.
opening day. What happens opening day?
I shot a doe
With
opening
your bow?
morning. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
2 years
Run
in a
me through
row,
it.
same
Run me.
spot.
Okay, you know what? Are you guys allowed to take guess? Because
No,
no. Oh,
got to be like immediate family,
can you adopt me?
kids. Sure.
Okay, cool. That'll
You
work. I
be
need a
my
father figure in my life. Um,
illegitimate son.
yeah. I'm from that trip you took up north like years ago.
Right. There you
I
are. We can
didn't
go
know
to
it. I
that.
just did 23andMe and it came back. I'm a Freeman. Uh,
Sure.
that's funny. No, so all right, well, let's talk about the Bucks. So you killed a nice 7 point relatively early on in the season. What is the story about that deer?
Well, I've been blessed beyond measure this year. I'm just gonna tell you, I don't deserve none of it, but the good Lord has been smiling on me this deer season. I mean, after last year and especially the season before last year, 2 years ago was just absolutely trash. So anyway, I've got my hunting club in Hancock, as you know, and then I got 10 acres behind my house that I got permission to hunt from our landlord. So I started, feeding same old stuff I do every year. I start probably June, 1st of June. I put my cameras up, start feeding. So I started getting pictures of a bachelor group back here behind the house. There was 6 bucks in this group when they started. I started getting pictures. They was always together. And there was one deer in the group. I could tell he was older than the rest of them, just by his body. I mean, you could tell. But as the summer went on and they started growing out, he, I originally named him Muley because he had a big fork on one side, like a mule deer fork. And he was a real pretty deer, big bodied, long deer. You know how they get when they get kind of mature, they start getting long. But anyway, they growed out in end of July, 1st of August. They starting to finish out pretty good. So I said I'm gonna hunt that deer right there, and they was still together. These 6 bucks stayed together all summer. Every time I seen one of them, you seen the other ones in the pits. They'd come in and out, in and out. And I guess when was it? It probably August. It was right before, not long before season started. I put some peanut butter back there. I screwed a cap to a tree. I don't know if anybody ever done that before, but screw a cap of peanut butter to the tree and cut the bottom of the jar off, and then screw the jar into the cap. Where they can't about waist high. Deer ain't that they ain't real tall. You don't want to put it too high because they don't like to stretch their heads out too much. But I put that out right there by where I was feeding them at the Nutrax blocks and the feed right there at my feed site. And that joker absolutely took that jar over. Every time I got a picture of him, he was nose deep in that jar, just stretched out eating it. Daylight, at night. I mean, the jar lasts about 3 days. He'd empty it. So I started calling him the PB&J buck because he loved that
Yeah.
peanut butter. Season rolled around, opening day. I hunted at the hunt club opening weekend. I didn't even go back there because the wind was wrong. I wasn't going to see it unless the wind was right. I knew which direction they were kind of coming from. I was thinking, but when was it? 19th, I think it was September 19th when I killed him. The weekend before that, I don't remember the date, but it was the weekend before I sat back there the first time the wind got right, and they all come in. But I was in my ladder stand I had back there. I think it's like 15 foot to the rail of it. But I had moved it behind a sweet gum tree that's kind of close to it and thought I could give myself a little cover before a bow shot. And it worked pretty good. They all come in And you know how deer do. They're going to mill around and just, they're going to ease up there and smell and look and just take their time. They don't just run up there and start eating, especially them bucks. They cautious. But the two smaller bucks that was always with them, they come around first. They kind of made a loop around in front of me, just like I thought they was going to do. I mean,
Yeah.
they was reading the script. I mean, he was the last one in line. And the two smaller bucks come on up there and they got it right dead in front of me. And he was to my right with two other bucks. They were just over there milling around, licking themselves, doing what they do. And one of them smaller bucks just happened to look. And I mean, I swear we made eye contact. Like that deer looked me dead in the eyes. And he put his head down, he looked back up again, and he done it 3 times. And that third time he looked at me and he stomped his foot. I said, oh
Knew
hell.
something was up.
I said, oh hell, he done silhouetted me or something. He knows something ain't right.
Yeah.
And when he stomped his foot, all the rest of them started looking around. They start like, what's up, bro? What you
Mhm.
see? They never smelled me. They never. I mean, I was locked in on my release. Like I was locked in. I was ready for the shot. When they started coming, I got ready. But that deer, I don't know what he saw. Only thing I can figure is that he skylined me against the sky.
Yeah.
He had
I
to.
mean, is there like decent cover behind you or around you?
I mean, I had some limbs. The stands on the white oak tree, but the limbs are real sparse. I mean, there was still
Yeah.
leaves on everything, but it's open hardwoods. I mean, it's not thick. I mean, you can't like just disappear into an open hardwood tree
Yeah.
unless you like put some stuff all around behind you. But I had some of that fabric, at Walmart, the leafy looking fabric.
Yeah.
I bought some of that and put around the front of the stand, kind of help hide, give it a little motion too, when the wind blows, it looks like leaves. But anyway, I had my mask. I mean, I was fully covered, but that deal, he's just seen something that he didn't like.
Yeah.
Only thing I can figure, he's seen a little bit of my silhouette against the sky or something, because it was sunny. It was pretty afternoon, but he got nervous, so they all turned and walked over there about 50 yards and just kind of grouped up and just hung out there. They just stood around over there browsing on leaves and licking their butts and doing what deer do.
Oh.
And I was like, man, they never left and they never blowed. One of the other smaller bucks, he come over there, come back. He actually come over there fed, but he kept looking at those deer. He was like, he'd eat and then he'd look, he'd go in there and eat and look. Then he walked back over there where they was at, and I was like, man, he's not coming, dude. They done got a little jittery. And it was almost getting dark, and it finally got just where I couldn't see my pins no more. And they finally just eased off. They just left. And I was like, thank God. I'm glad they left because I could get down without bumping them. But that was the first set. I didn't spook them. They wasn't spooked. I knew they'd be back. They was back the next day. Next afternoon, I got pictures. They was in there eating 5:30. So I went back there that Tuesday and put some feed out, put out some fresh blocks, and I got pictures every day that week. It was hot that week. It was like it was hot. It was almost 90 degrees every afternoon that week. I remember
Believe
because
me, I remember.
I was dehydrated so bad after I killed that deer that it was terrible. I
Yeah.
mean, I started cramping and jump because I sweated so much. But I got pictures every day. About 5:30, they was in there eating. So that Saturday rolled around. I think it was a Saturday. I'm not sure today, but I know it was the 19th. I took my climber back there, my summit back there behind me, hanging on the wall, and I got in the sweet gum tree right in front of the ladder stand. And I went up that sweet gum tree about, I think my pull rope was 25 foot. I was 25 foot plus. I knew I had to get high where they couldn't see me. You know what I'm saying? The higher, I
Yeah.
mean, so I got up in that tree and I had the tree the ladder stands on behind me, so it gave me a little bit more cover. But the height was my best friend. I mean, I got above their heads. Sure enough, about 5 o'clock, I heard them. They come up out of the bottom, same direction they come before when I hunted this first time. And they done the same thing. They went out there and made a little loop, stood around, stood around. This time they didn't know I was there though. Them same two bucks come first, and they was looking. They looked dead at that ladder stand. That same deer. 3 times again. He looked right at that stand. I was like, yeah.
He was looking to see if you were there.
He was looking to see if I was there. He seen me the last time. He knew something was in that spot.
Yeah.
But there wasn't nothing there. He didn't see nothing. So he calmed down and he went to eat. And I knew it was game on then because I had him.
Mm.
He finally worked around there, the PB&J buck. The buck I was after. He run one buck off, and he finally worked around there where them deer was at and run them off, like just horned them right in the butt, just like old goat. I mean, he just like move. It's my turn.
Yeah.
And he finally gave me the shot. The shot was a real steep angle because I was so dang high up in the tree, and he was quarter to me. But I wasn't waiting. I wasn't gonna give him none of them a chance because all them eyes. There was 6 pairs of eyes right there. I got to get past to draw and shoot this deer. And dude, I'm gonna tell you what, I ain't never had so much trouble pulling the bow back in all my life.
Yeah.
I
It's
couldn't
weird,
draw my
man.
bow, man.
Well, it's weird because like we literally shoot all year long,
Right.
and then I don't know if it's our muscles get stiff while we're just standing still or what, but I mean, I have literally almost probably torn my rotator cuff just because it's so cold and I was just sitting there not moving. And then I go to draw the bow back and my like I've told you guys the story before, but like the shoulder pops in almost. And it's probably bad form. It's you're nervous and stuff. But even then, even the buck I killed, I slightly struggled to get that bow back just because the adrenaline's dumping so
Dude,
much.
I think it was that the adrenaline, and had stood up. I would probably had been standing there for like 25 minutes, with locked in on my release, holding the bow, like just trying
Oh
to
yeah.
be still as a statue and not move. I actually had to sit my bow down on the rail of my stand and have my hand resting on my bino harness where I could, take some pressure off my arms.
Yeah.
And that deer finally gave me the shot. And I was trying to film. I was filming it with my phone, and I was trying to look and see if he was in the frame. And there was a daggum limb come out like this, and he was right behind that limb. And I was like, I didn't have no choice. I couldn't move my phone, nothing. I
Yeah.
couldn't do nothing. So I had to take the shot. So I shot, and it looked good. When I shot, it felt good. The arrow I got to pass through because the arrow fell out like on the ground behind him. I knew I drilled him. Boy, he skinned out of there, and I seen him out there standing about 200 yards. He was just old tail was going like that. He was just easing off. I knew he was hurt bad, but
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly where I hit him. But I was scared to hit him in the shoulder, so I put it behind the shoulder. But the angle was so steep, I caught the back of the lung, all the liver, and it come out behind the last rib in the front of his stomach. When I got down, the arrow was just, it had liver blood on it. It was dark. I was like, oh hell. And I started following the trail, and it was a little bit of gut smell on the arrow, and I knew then how I had hit him.
Yeah.
Well, I just left and went to the house and give him about 2 hours, and I went back down there, and I probably trailed him about 300 or 400 yards, and I lost it in a pine thicket. He started zigzagging down a little creek, and I lost the blood in the pine thicket. And my buddy Houston Johnson, he's got a tracking dog. He had messaged me. I think I had posted on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
I think I did. He was like, if you need me, holler at me. I'll bring the dog over. So I called him. I was like, dude, I'm gonna need the dog. And I lost the blood in the pine thicket. He's zigzagging down the creek. I got liver and a little good on the arrow, but I think I got one lung. I'm pretty sure. He's like, all right, don't go no further. I'll be there in a little while. So he came down. He came over here, and we took the dog back there. And he made about 4 circles right there in the area where I shot him and where I lost that blood. And then he finally went back the last time and picked it up on the other side of the creek. The deer had went across the creek and kind of made a loop and went back across the creek. And he done that like 7 times, I think. Just cross the creek, he'd go back, he'd cross the creek again. It was crazy. I don't know. It was nuts. I probably would never found that deer without that dog. I would
Do you
never
think
followed it.
you think maybe there's coyotes chasing him or something? I mean, probably not because he wasn't eating
No,
anything.
no, it's just he was hurt. He was,
Huh. That's so weird,
but he everywhere he stopped, there'd be a big puddle of blood,
man. Yeah.
because the exit was underneath him. It was dumping out. But he finally straightened that track out, man. Hell, we probably didn't go 200 more yards. Found him right across the property line on the neighbors. On the neighbors, there's a hunting club that butts up behind us on the back edge of our property.
Yeah.
So we got close to that line. Well, no, actually, before he came with the dog, I rode over there to their deer camp. I said, I know he's probably on their property. I'm gonna ride over there, see if anybody's at camp and get permission, make sure it's
Yeah.
cool. So I rode over there and there was a guy at the camp, him and his son. He was super nice. I'm like, look, dude, I got a pretty good book down. He crossed onto y'all's place, I got a dog coming. Is it all right, if we go over and track him? He was like, shoot, yeah, by all means, go get him. He said, ain't none of us hunting no way. We just planting food plots. I was like, all right, cool.
So
And
you
it
can
probably
do
went,
that in late September down here at
yeah,
least.
he probably went 75 yards across their property line, and the dog found him in the briar thicket over there dead. Just, he done got stiff. He was probably dead when I went back to look for him the second time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have never trailed that deer by myself. Not the way he was zigzagging, and there's canes in there, them little short canes about
Mhm.
knee high. He was all through that mess. I mean, it would have been hell on me.
Well, that's like when Josh shot his buck last year and we had to trail it for a mile.
Yeah.
We never would have been able to find the thing because it went through a marsh, it went through a pine thicket, then it went into this oak flat, which then it went into another like briar thicket. I, if it wasn't for the dog, we never would have found him. Plus, the coyotes had gotten to him, so he was already eating a little
I
bit.
don't know. That's what I was
Yeah.
afraid of. The coyotes had done found him or something before we got back there.
Hmm.
Because it was probably 3.5, 4 hours after I shot him when we found him. It was almost 11 o'clock when we found him.
Yeah.
And I was scared to death of the Yotes, and I found him, eat half of him. But nothing had touched him.
Y'all got a lot of coyotes out there?
Oh yeah, I hear him. I seen one back there hunting last year. I couldn't get him to stop. I was gonna shoot him, but
Get you a nice little pelt up there on the wall.
he didn't want to hang around for the party.
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird. Like people, especially in Georgia, we always hear about coyotes, and I mean, I've seen coyotes on the side of the road, not anywhere out here. I mean, I've seen a few dead ones, but
Yeah.
I've gotten them on camera. I've gotten videos of them. Never once have I seen them while hunting in the past 6 years. It doesn't make any sense. I've seen the first hog I've ever seen hunting was Clybell end of November, and
Yeah.
it was 60 yards away. And yet we have millions and millions of those things. So it's kind of crazy how like, you we shoot a deer and we maybe it's not a great shot and then we have to track it and stuff and they get to it, but you just never see it. It's just
You're
wild.
not.
Or at least I
Yeah,
don't
you're
see
not
it.
gonna see them. I mean, they smell that blood and that stuff, for a long ways, and they'll come looking for it.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah.
where we found Josh's buck, the deer that he shot actually bedded up in the marsh on the other side of the woods, and it was maybe 100 yards. But what we found, like when we got to that bed, what we found was the coyotes jumped him and then chased him all the way, another 3/4 of a mile up. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts, man. I mean, I'm glad you found him. I hate that you had to, deal with the tracking job and stuff, but it's just to me it's become a comedic thing almost because every bow season, the first 2 months of season, I just always see need a dog in such and such place or what's the best dog in this county, and it's like I mean, what do you think that is? Like obviously your case, it wasn't lack of practice because you probably shoot your bow more than I do. And
I
I mean,
mean,
is it just people not practicing or is it just certain
shot
situations like
shot
scenarios?
placement, shot placement, shot placement, shot placement, 100% shot placement. I I knew when you shoot a deer with a bow, don't ever shoot where you want to hit it. Shoot it where you want it to come out at.
Hmm.
That is the number one rule with bow
Yeah.
hunting.
Aim
Shoot
for
for
the
the
exit.
exit. Don't shoot for the entrance. The entrance don't matter.
Yeah.
See, I could have shot that deer in front of the shoulder, like in the chest, and probably got a quicker kill. But if I was off by a half inch and hit that scapula or that leg bone, I would have never seen him again. He'd have been
Yeah.
gone.
Well, and see it. I
I'd, I'd,
totally
have,
get that
I'd have
because
shattered his leg and he'd have limped off for 2 years and been limping and took my
yep.
arrow and the broadhead had been stuck in there and he'd have been
Well, and
gone.
it's like
Never
that.
seen him
It's like
again.
that doe I shot at the beginning of the year. I was shooting for the exit, but either she ducked it or I just. I will admit my bow, for whatever reason, I don't. I guess I just wasn't paying attention or I didn't shoot it or something. But it was. I did have to adjust it after that. It was hitting an inch high on 20.
Yeah.
The sight tape was good, but for whatever reason, it must have gotten bumped or something. I just didn't notice it. Because I shot her straight through the backstrap. I mean, I guarantee that doe is still alive.
Oh,
Guarantee
yeah.
that she she did not die. I mean, there's no way. So yeah, shot placement, dude. It's
Yeah, I mean,
that is the most important thing
it
that we
is.
have
I
as bow
mean,
hunters.
you got to take out what kills them. I
Yeah.
mean, you shoot them through the muscle, that don't kill them.
No, no, they might get an infection and die, but they ain't gonna die
Yeah, that'll
anytime
be
soon.
a week or a month later. I mean,
Yeah.
but still, I took the safe shot. I didn't want to shoot him in front of the shoulder because the way he was standing with both legs together. He didn't have one or forward or whatever. He was standing straight up and had his head down. But I knew I needed to wait till he picked his head up for a shot because when their heads down, they duck farther.
And that's the other mistake I made. Her head was down. So
Wait till they
yeah,
pick their head up. They
yeah.
can't duck as far with their head up. If their head is down, their whole front of their body is going to drop when they pick their head up.
Mhm. See, the best
Pick up.
scenario was like that spike that I shot. He was head up and looking away. So I had
Yeah.
all the time in the world just to draw back, settle that pin, and he didn't even
See?
move.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And he was eating. As soon as he picked his head up, I settled the pin right behind the shoulder, and I just touched it off. I knew it was a good shot.
he was quartering too.
He was quartering to me. I mean, hard. It was, and I was 25, 30 foot in the air, so you know the angle on that. I mean, it's almost straight down. But I knew I got one lung, and I knew I got liver. I knew it was a kill shot, but it's going to take him a little while. The way he was acting when I last time I seen him, I knew I had hit liver because I mean, if I'd got both lungs, he'd have fell over dead. I'd watched him
Yeah.
die right there. But
Well, I feel like if I remember right, the video you put out and the video you sent us, didn't he tuck his tail and run?
yeah, oh yeah, he tucked his tail. I mean, he was hurt. He was hurt bad.
Yeah.
I mean
Dude,
that.
it's so crazy like this year. Because I mean, I watch hunting videos, you watch hunting videos, you see a good shot, you see a bad shot, but I feel like you don't really retain it until you've done it.
No,
You
you don't.
know?
You
Like
you
the
you
stuff
have got
that
to experience it.
yeah, like that buck that I shot. When I shot him, I knew it was a good shot, but he dragged his front legs for like 10 yards and then got up and bolted off and died 30 yards away. But it's the
Right.
same situation with God, who was it? I think it was Thor. Was it Thor that had the buck that was dragging his front end,
Yeah,
or
I think
is
so.
it was it Thor? Maybe not. I don't remember. Anyway,
I don't
somebody we know.
remember.
Oh no, it was Christian. Christian shot that buck
That's
this
right,
year.
and they couldn't find it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
was
yeah. I
saying the
remember
same
that.
thing.
He
And
was
I was
sick too.
like, dude, well, and that's what scared me when I shot that buck because he did the exact same thing Christian said. I'm like, oh crap, here we go. But I thought I heard him fall, and then I got to watch him fall, and that whole thing. So it's weird, man. Bow hunting, I I do defend bow hunting a lot with guys that rifle hunt consistently. Like I know you rifle hunt, you do both. There's, I have nothing wrong with that. But I do have to admit that if you're not careful, oh, I don't even say that. It's just more things can happen with bow hunting, I guess. There's less
Yeah.
forgiveness, if that makes sense.
Yes, you're exactly
So
right. I mean, an arrow in the broadhead is not a bullet. It does not do as much damage. I
yeah,
mean,
well, I don't know. Those mega meats are pretty nasty. I'd say it's pretty
still, but
comparable.
you don't have the
The force
kinetic
behind
energy,
it.
the shock when a bullet impacts, far as a arrow. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, you
saying?
shoot that new PSE Sicario moving about 351 foot a second. Getting pretty close up there. Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, it hits him hard, but I mean,
Yeah,
you're
no,
not
I
going to
know.
knock him off his feet with an arrow like versus a
No,
bullet. You know what I'm saying? But still, you got to put it where you got to put it where it goes
yeah.
with
I
either
mean it.
one.
Well, and what do we always talk about like in the off season? Yeah, it's not deer season, but you still got to shoot your bow. Still have to practice. And I know I've
Yeah.
gotten onto. I actually I don't think I've ever. You shoot your bow in the off season, don't you?
Yes, all the
Okay.
time.
See, dude, I've had so many years now of having to like get on the Thor and Brock and be like, guys, I
He's
know
gonna
it's
kill
May,
you.
but go shoot your bow. You're gonna thank me later, and they don't do it.
Dude, I mean, when the moment of truth arises and you ain't practicing and you ain't won with your bow and you know what I'm saying, you gonna have an issue probably because
Yeah. And
you
the
gonna
thing
make a
is, I'm a
mistake.
hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. You know, the last time I shot my bow was over a week ago.
I took
Now,
my bow
mind
hunting
you,
Sunday morning.
well, see, I meant to shoot it today, but I, you know what I had to go through at work driving out to Augusta. So four
Oh
hours of
yeah, yeah,
driving time.
sure.
I was pretty tired when I got back. Um, excuses, right? But no, I mean, I feel like the off-season prep is something that a lot of people sort of don't think about because I mean, what's the general deer hunter like in Georgia? Deer season ends. They don't think about it until July.
Yeah, they put all their stuff up till July, August, and then
Exactly.
they bust it all out and try to
Yeah.
fix it and tune it and shoot and practice.
Yep.
And
Then they go to
you
Ace and
should
they
have been
say, "Hey, my
doing that.
bow is out of tune. Can you tune it?" And there's 400 other people that are doing the same thing.
Right.
It's just,
You
I
have
don't know.
no practice. You have not shot enough to amount to nothing.
You think those are the guys that are always calling for dogs?
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean, everybody makes a mistake, but if it
It's all right.
happens on the regular, then you got a problem somewhere. You need to fix it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That's
know
a
what I'm
lot of money
saying?
wasted on calling dogs every year.
I mean, I ain't against calling no dog to help you find no deer, but you shouldn't have to do it every time you go hunting. That's
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
I mean, the dog handlers love it, keeps them job
Oh yeah.
security, but that gum, I mean, tighten up. I mean, kill the deer yourself and find him and watch him die. You ain't got to call somebody to come find him for you every time you shoot one.
Mhm.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but hey,
That deer right there is the first deer since I ever been hunting my whole life that I've had needed a dog to find
yeah. I
ever.
mean, I probably had a few that if I had the ability to go on neighbors' properties, I probably should have called a dog.
Right.
But you know how it can get sometimes, especially on smaller properties. Some of these people, I mean, dude, they see you even look at their house and they got their phone in hand ready to call 911. The last
Oh
thing they
hell
want
yeah,
to
they're
do
finna
is
call the police.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember one time a couple of years ago when I was hunting the lake property, which I had permission at, by the way. I mean, for
Right.
everybody listening, it was all legal. Everything was up on the up and up. But I guess one of the neighbors drove by and saw me in the tree and like they slowed down. So they're coming from the right side and they come up and then like they're going normal speed and then they slow down right at the driveway. And you can see me from the driveway, like from the main road, you can see me because it's just a power line and there's a small, patch of woods or whatever. And then there's
They
the
was
road on the
probably
other
like,
side of the
what
park.
in the world is this guy in this tree
Yeah,
doing?
I guarantee you that's what it was. And so I see them slow down and then they creep up the hill. And as soon as they get out of my line of sight, then I hear them speed up. 15 minutes later, Covington cop or Covington police came coming down that road. They slowed down and the same exact deal, but the opposite. They came up normal speed, they slowed down, went slowly past me, went down to the roundabout that's at the edge of this like little island or isthmus or whatever it is. It's like this little piece of land that goes over the lake.
Right.
Go down there, turn back around. I hear them coming up normal speed, and then they slow down again and keep on going. They never stopped, and I wasn't worried because I'm like, well, if they stop, I mean, I have permission here,
Right.
But it's just, it's weird, man. It's weird. So I haven't called a dog yet. I know it's going to happen eventually in my bow hunting career, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is good to have. Like 20 years ago, we didn't have all these dog handlers,
yeah,
the tracking dog lists and all that stuff. You had to do it on your own. I mean, if you couldn't find it, the buzzards got to eat him. I mean, you just had to go to the house and be mad.
yeah.
But
And
now, I
look for
mean,
them the
you
next day
got
with the birds.
right. I mean, now you got some options though. You can call one of these dogs and dude, them jokers, they don't miss.
Oh, I
They
know.
don't. If he's dead, they gonna find him.
Dude, I'll tell you what, when we looked for Josh's deer and had to go through
It
that
was
marsh, I was
wild.
not prepared. I was not prepared for that. Because I didn't have like my hunting boots or anything on. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
thinking, yeah, so I'm thinking, all right, because I didn't know the marsh was even there.
Right.
I wasn't, this is the church spot that I hunt now, but I wasn't hunting
Uh,
it then. So I knew nothing about it. All I knew is that Josh killed deer off of it pretty consistently. Which is a whole nother thing I don't even want to go into why I haven't yet. But um chalk it up to it being a weird year. I'll give my excuse there. But anyway, so he's like, "Yeah, man, I got a dog coming," because he called me to go help him track, and he shot it with a mega meat, and the arrow did some really weird stuff. But we found some blood, and then we just couldn't find any.
right.
And that dog immediately, when it got started on the track, took us up this little embankment on this road that's on the marsh because the marsh is it's like this big old marsh and there's like a road that goes around it. This dog goes up there and immediately there's a pile of blood like about that wide. And I was like, how
Hmm.
did we miss that? Because we were up there and somehow we missed it. So then we're following this dog and I see him go off in the marsh and I'm like, huh, that grass looks really wet. So I start walking and next thing you know, my foot goes in about 4 inches deep. And I was like, oh, Jesus. So
Did you have your boots on?
no, that's the
Oh,
bad part.
Lord.
Yeah. So
Wet.
we're going through, thank God for shoelaces. And next thing you know,
Really?
a mile down the trail or the path, I guess, after going through the thickest stuff I've ever gone through, there he was. And then Josh's wife had to drive around and come pick us up. So
It's crazy.
yeah, dude. But dogs, I mean, dogs definitely are an essential thing. I'm really curious where this thermal drone stuff's going to take us because I'm pretty sure that's legal in Georgia, isn't it?
I don't even know. I think so because I know there's one outfit that's running the drones. I can't remember the name of them,
Yeah.
but I know they're in Georgia, so evidently it's legal. But that's probably like the wave of the future.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think
But
with
in
that?
my opinion, in my personal opinion, that drone doesn't hold a candle to a dog's nose.
Yeah, that is true. Because that dog's looking for that specific deer. The drone's just going to find every deer in the area.
It's just
Which,
looking for heat.
yeah, and like I don't know how you feel about drones being legal and all that. I'm on the fence a little bit because believe me, if I could afford a drone, I'm at the point now. I just want to know where these bucks are. I'd set that sucker up. Go up, go in that little field right there behind the church and just send
Yeah,
her up and
I
go see
mean
where they're at.
that's
Because it's
something
like
that would have to be regulated, though. You know.
It would, because what are you going to do? I mean, I've heard stories already in the past few years, when this became a thing, where it's like you've literally got guys that walk to the wood line, send the drone up, put the thermal imaging on, find the deer, and then you've got one guy on a radio and is radioing to the hunter and telling him where to go. And it's like, granted, that's illegal and they did get in trouble for it, but it's still happening. And how many people are doing that where they're not getting caught?
Right.
So
I mean, that's not cool.
no, but I mean,
Not at all.
that type of stuff's going to happen anyway, man. I mean, we have people that poach. I've heard some stories
Oh
from
yeah,
Jay
no
about
doubt,
people
man.
people poaching and the Seek One stories and all that. So
I'm sure.
it just sucks. But I want to
But
hear
I mean,
about your big buck, your big buck that you killed this year.
I
Because
know
that sucker,
you was
oh
on to
boy,
get that dude. I was
oh,
tickled to death.
I bet you were. I was at my mother's house when you called me, and you sounded like you were about to have a heart attack.
I was almost in tears. I was about to cry. I think I cried a little bit, to
I
be
mean,
honest
look
with
at him, of course. Who wouldn't?
you. Shoot, I was tore up, son. And I didn't get it on film, and I hated that junk, man. I was like, man, I might know I come out here not expecting to see nothing. I didn't even have my phone up in the mount or nothing. I was just out there hunting, enjoying the evening, and two little does come out there in the food plot that I have put in, and he shows up. I'm like, did that just happen?
Dude. So, did you get him scored?
Yes, but I don't know the score because we got a bet on him, and I don't want to know it till the deer season's over.
Oh, dang. All right, what would you guess? Well, actually, hold on. Before you tell me, describe the deer. What was he for the people who don't know? There he is. Dude.
I just got him last week. I mean, he's a typical 9 pointer.
Okay. So, I'm gonna guess here.
He's
Pick one
got a
up
little
again.
funky brow, one curls to the front, and then he's got like a little flat one on this side. It's kind of cool.
I'm gonna guess at least in the 20s.
I
Gross,
guessed
not
him
dead.
low 30s, but that was when he was green. But the guy that done my Euros, Trent, he scored him. He scored him twice. He scored him when I took him to him, and then he scored him the day I come picked him up, which he done dried. But I got a bet at work with my buddy and Christian. Dawson and Christian, we got a bet on biggest buck of the year. The losers got to dye their hair blonde. That's the bet.
Okay, I honestly hope that you lose. If are you gonna do the beard too?
No, no beard. No,
Oh,
absolutely
come
not.
on,
No, no, no. Heck no.
man.
Hell no.
Well, I'm glad I
Just
didn't.
the head.
I'm glad I didn't do that bet because my buck back there on the wall, he's probably 30 inches, maybe. I mean, that little spike over there. That's the one that I killed this year, and I don't know. I mean, he's kind of. Hold on a sec. Let's see, because this guy was a few years back. I mean, he ain't
Close.
much. He ain't much smaller.
He's close. But yeah, that's our bet. I'm winning so far. Dawson, he's already said he already made his hair appointment, so they're pretty much
Hell yeah,
done. I knew if I made it to duck season, I would probably win it
dude. Well,
because
and that's the thing too is
duck
like,
season come in, they're done deer hunting.
well, in deer season. I mean, deer season. I hate to even say it, but it's basically over.
Pretty
Like we've
much.
only
I
got
mean,
2 weeks.
2 weekends left, and that's it.
Yeah. I have at most 3 sits left. And I'm at the point now. I know this is stupid, probably regret it, but I might do it anyway. Is when or not Wednesday. I keep wanting to say Wednesday. Thursday when I go, the wind is not good. I've
Yeah,
got to get one more deer on the ground. So I'm to the point now. I've got a unicorn buck, and when I say that, he's just got one spike.
right.
If that dude shows up, I'll shoot nothing but spikes this year. I don't even care. Like I want one more deer in there, but the problem is with the wind being bad, the only options I have is either sit in the stand that's pre-hung and have a bad wind, depending on how strong it is, or get the climber and get in this one little tree tucked behind some brush that's next to this tree
Right.
and hopefully be hidden enough so when these deer come walking in, because what they'll do, the way they do it is if I'm in the preset stand, they come walking directly at me.
Right.
So I would need like an east wind. Well, I'm gonna have a west wind, so it's gonna be blowing right where they're going or right where they're coming from, right?
I know that's tough.
Uh-huh. And then the other tree is on the other side of like I'll just put the food in the middle, right? So the other
Hmm.
tree is on the other side. I would climb up that, kind of hunt it like a saddle, and have branches and brush around me, to sort of
Right.
break up, like tuck away behind it. And that tree is about 5 yards off the trail these deer use to come down the embankment and go to the feed. So it is super, super close. And I don't know what to do, honestly, because I mean, yeah, I won't get skylined in this one set, but I'm 5 yards from these deer, and any type of crazy, not even crazy movement, just any type of mistake or any wind shift or anything, I'm screwed. But if I sit in the hang on set, I'm screwed too because the wind's gonna go be blowing right to them.
Well, you're
So
more screwed by the wind versus the movement. You can control the movement. You can't
yeah,
control the wind
yeah. The only
at all.
issue is like getting in the stand is I can get in the hang on much quieter,
Yeah.
way quieter. And going in the morning, I haven't even hunted this property in the morning at all this year. So I know the tree, and I've hunted it once. I didn't really like it. Granted, I was hunting so it's kind of like curved a little bit like that. I
Yeah.
was hunting this side like an idiot.
Oh, I bet that was uncomfortable.
It was terrible. So what I'm going to do is go to the back side and use it as cover and everything else.
Right.
It'll be fine. It's just I can't. It's the first off, it's New Year's Day, so we're already going to be up till midnight, and then I got to get up at 5 the next morning. I mean, dude, don't know if I'm going to get in early enough. You know?
Go in right at daylight. Then you can see if anything's there. You won't bump nothing.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It also sucks because these cameras are pretty much dead. So I have like no confidence. I'm basically just going because I want to go.
It's late season. I mean, they done been shot at for 4 months, and now the woods are bare because all the leaves are gone, and
Yep. Oh,
there's
dude,
still
speaking
acorns
of deer,
everywhere still. And it's just crazy.
you need to see this. So I don't know if you remember this buck. Do you remember the big 6 point from last year at the church that I named Brutus?
Yeah,
Okay. Did I ever tell you that this year he turned back into a 7?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm going to show you this video. This deer has been gone for 2 months. And this sucker, I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Hold on. Angle it. No, it's not working.
Can't see it. It's whited out.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why it's doing this.
That I could see it then when you turned it a little bit. Right there, yeah, I can see it now.
Can you see it?
A little bit. I can see it now. Hold it right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that camera is right in front of the tree that I would be hunting in. That's the only deer that's come in that way. And he's never daylighted.
It's 2 weeks. There's 2 weeks left. What you got to lose?
I know.
Just go.
I know. That's the
just
problem,
go.
man. It just drives me crazy because it's like, all right, you know what? I want to ask you this. We got about 20-ish, 30-ish minutes left. I need to know your opinion on this because this is something that I've been talking with Brock a lot about. And so Georgia, there's been some talks in the past year or two of changing regulations, right? They always bring it up. It never happens. But what's your opinion on if Georgia went to a 1 buck state?
I'd be okay with it. I mean,
Do you think that we would have better quality? I mean, I know obviously Atlanta has like the highest quality of the state, but out here, do you think if we had 1 buck and then 10 does or 11 does or whatever it is, do you
I
think
mean,
that would maybe make it a little bit more high quality deer? Do you think there'd still be guys shooting 2 deer and just not tagging one?
I mean, you gonna have some folks do that anyway. It
That's
don't
true.
matter what the regulations is. I mean, they're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah, that is true.
That's just human nature.
I know a
mean,
fear people that do it, so
they don't care. They just gonna kill stuff. They don't care about no regs and no laws. But as far as 1 buck, it, my opinion, it would make in certain areas better quality bucks. But Georgia is so diverse. There's so much diversity across the state, from the mountains to South Georgia near Florida.
yeah.
I mean, some areas of Georgia can't support a big buck. They don't have the nutrition. I mean, they could get the age on them, but they don't. I mean, you got to have. They got to get old enough, and they got to have some decent food to grow a big wreck. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
Like out there at my club, it's cut over, it's pines, and it's creek bottoms. You can't grow big bucks on pine cones. That don't work.
yeah,
They got to have some food. You either got to have a food plot program, you got to feed them 365 days a year, or you got to have some damn good woods. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
I see these guys on the Facebook groups griping all the time. Georgia ain't got big buck. Big buck this, big buck that. You're not gonna kill a big buck everywhere in Georgia. I don't give a damn what you will. Or I'll die on that hill. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like you go out east toward Augusta, out there toward Washington County, down Wilkins, down out that way. Man, it's just scrub. I mean, there's nothing out there.
yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of deer out there, but you ain't gonna grow no bone and crockett buck out there because he ain't got nothing to eat.
yeah. Well, man,
I mean, unless you feed him protein 365 a year, who can
yeah.
afford that though? I
I've
mean,
seen a few bucks out there in Taliaferro County that kind of make me be like, "Damn,
there's a good deer out there, but look at where the Boone and Crockett bucks and the book bucks come from. Atlanta
Atlanta.
or the
Only
Flint River,
Atlanta."
Atlanta or the Flint River Basin. That's where all you big bucks die. Dooley County, Macon County,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
down the
Well, I
Flint
mean,
River.
okay, so that's part of what I'm talking about is like those
Morgan
counties
County.
are those
Morgan
are
County.
antler
They got
registered.
all the ag in Morgan County. They got plenty to eat.
Yeah. Aren't those counties though, like Macon and Dooley and all that, aren't they
It's
antler
nothing but
restricted?
farms. There's nothing but farms out there.
But aren't they antler restricted though?
I
I know
think
Macon
Dooley,
is.
Dooley and Macon County are, I think.
Okay.
But
So is
still,
that so you're
Hancock County is antler restrictions, but
really?
yes, they got to be 15 inches or four on one side for it to be legal. Any buck.
Huh.
I can't shoot a spike buck at my hunt club. He's not
Okay,
legal.
I don't want to go to your hunting club then. I've got a
I
thing to
got
shoot a
three
spike.
bucks on camera right now that's probably 5 years old. They're not legal. You can't do nothing with them.
Okay. See,
They'll
that's
die
where
of
I
old
think
age.
that's stupid.
Well, that's part of the problem. I mean, but it's a double edged sword. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There should
I
be some kind of exception in those rules, like an older buck. You know, you can tell when a buck is old. I mean, his belly's
yeah.
sagging. I mean, he looks like an old man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There
Problem
ain't no
is, you're gonna have
mistaking it.
guys play stupid and be like, "Oh, I thought it was a 5, 6, 7 year old buck, and it's a spike."
You
You
can
know,
tell. I mean,
I know you can
if you got
tell, but
any
I'm just
sense,
saying you're
you
gonna have
know.
guys do it.
But
Like, there's
see,
going to be people.
I mean, I got a picture of a buck last night. He's a six pointer. He has no brow tines, and that joker is probably 20 inches wide.
Bro, all right, Andy, you're making me want to go. You're making me not want to go. Now you're
And
making
I
me
know
want to
this
go again.
deer is like 4 years old.
This is on the club.
Well, he's not legal. He doesn't have 4 points on one side.
See, this is why I couldn't do that. I couldn't
But
be in
he's
county.
15 inches wide. But I wouldn't shoot him. I mean, he's a coal. He's ugly. I don't want him.
Andy. 20-inch 6 point.
I
Does he have
mean,
tall tines?
he's probably this far past each ear on each side.
Bro, what do you mean you wouldn't want to shoot him?
I don't want. I mean, he's what I'm gonna do with him? He's ugly.
Soul mount him? Eat
I
him? Dude, it's
want
cool.
something that's pretty.
That is pretty. That's like trite,
He
but
ain't pretty
why?
to me. He'll that joker will die old age before I shoot him. But I'll
Wait. So
probably
you
never
said he's
see him
got
in
three.
daylight. No way.
You said he's got three on each side, but no brow tines, right?
No, no. He's got a fork at the end and like a G2, and
Oh,
he has no brow tine.
so the typical six.
He's just a sick pointer. He
Yeah.
was that way last year. He'll probably be that way till he dies. I mean,
You need to send me a picture of this deer.
I'll send you a picture.
I want to see it because
He's
that's
just old
I
regular
like
cold.
6 points, man. There's something about big 6 points that just like Daryl's 6 point he killed last year.
See, that's different. Now that joker was pretty. This thing, like his tines are like this long.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I was asking if he had long
No,
tines.
dude.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No.
Yeah.
He's just
No, never
old
mind.
cold, just old scrub book, what I call him. I mean, he's breeding does and passing his genes, but he won't
Uh-huh.
never amount to nothing.
You're gonna have funky bucks on that property forever.
Well, we got a bunch of funky bucks down there. A lot of them.
So
But see, that's the problem with the antler restrictions. Like bucks like that, nobody wants to shoot them.
yeah,
You know
but
what
you
I'm
still
saying?
have deer that are getting old
And
and
he's
old
breeding
and
a bunch of
old.
does, and he's his babies is gonna have that gene.
So all right, so what if they did 1 buck state and no restriction?
Well, I mean, you got to have some kind of restriction, or everybody's gonna shoot everything.
Well, no. I mean, like if you got 1 buck for Georgia, right? And they take the antler restrictions away. You think people are still? I mean, I know there's going to be some people shooting like 2 year olds or 1 year olds just because they want
Oh
to kill a
yeah,
buck.
yeah.
But the general, I guess, community. Do you think that that would maybe be the answer in some areas, not all areas, but some areas where, okay, I'll use Covington as an example.
Uh,
That that church property I had 8 different shooter bucks on the property
I
during the
know.
summer.
We
Yeah,
seen them.
you remember me blowing your phone up
Yeah.
and be like, bro, check this out. There's another one. And then they disappear. So my question is, there was only 3 out of those 8 that were over 4 years old. That type of genetic, or I guess that type of growth or whatever, do you think that's possible within a 5 year period or maybe 10 year period if we went to single bucks, like just 1 buck only, that we might start seeing that in other places?
Yeah, probably because you had to get more selective then. I mean, you shoot a little buck, you're done for the year. I mean, that's your
Yeah.
deer.
And who, I mean, I'm not gonna say who wants to do that, but not a lot of guys are gonna do that.
No, not really. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'd wait.
Yeah. What about a earn a buck system? Kill a doe first, then you get your buck tag.
That's what I would like to see.
Okay.
But
I
that's
would
just
hate
me.
that.
I know
Personally, I hate that.
a lot of people would hate that, but that would be more beneficial to our deer herd than a one buck limit,
Yeah. Because we do
to
need to
be
kill more
honest.
does. We have way too many does. I
Man,
mean,
some places are just daggum overrun with them, and folks wonder why they can't kill a buck. I mean, hey, you'll never see him. He ain't got to go nowhere.
yeah.
He's got girlfriends at every corner. Wait,
Mhm.
he ain't got to go down the
Well,
street to find love. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, look at the lake last year. I only had
Hell,
trike, and then he disappeared, and it was nothing but does until I think that one deer my daughter named Comet showed up for like 2 days, and it was just back to does only. So,
yeah.
and believe me, I tried. I shot 3 does last year, but I mean, I only found one, unfortunately. But I feel like there needs to be some type of incentive, because I actually got in an argument with Jessica today about this because, which typical, but we're on the phone and I was telling her about like the plans for the next 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm at the point now, if I see anything, I'm shooting it yearling, buttonhead, spike, I don't care. And she was like, well, you should have done that in the beginning. I was like, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm like,
Oh,
all
wait
right,
a minute.
beginning of season, I did shoot a doe. I just made a bad shot. And then the rest of the year, up until that buck back there, I had almost no deer in front of me.
Yeah.
Or I had, I will admit, I did have two spikes in front of me at one point. I could have shot them. I just chose not to because it was still kind of early in the season. But then I had a fawn in front of me. I'm not going to shoot a fawn early in the season. She's
No.
just lost her spots like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So we went back and forth, and I'm like, listen, I know I always say, because her thing was that she told me in the beginning of the season, if you let any deer walk, I don't want to hear you complain about it at the end of the year. And I was like, well, I'm not necessarily complaining. I'm kind of just telling you, like, if it's brown, it's down. And if I walk up on it and think it's a doe and it's got these little nubs, well, I mean, it is what it is.
Hmm.
But I do always tell her, like, the first 2 weeks of season is buck only because that's the easiest time to kill them. So
It is.
at least from what I've seen, like,
It
that
is.
deer is the first November deer I've killed in 4 years or 5 years. So I don't know. I mean, I do feel like Georgia needs to make some change, to sort of give us more incentive to kill does for the people that, like you and me, we want to kill does. That's our thing. But
Oh, dude, I'm smoking the first one that steps in front of me one season.
exactly.
You seen that? They're 2 years in a row in the same blind. I mean, it is on like Donkey Kong, son. I'm gonna send it. I ain't waiting.
Yeah. And maybe I need to adopt that next year because this constant every year just chasing bucks and then not coming up on it's kind of annoying, you know?
I mean, chasing bucks will drive you daggum crazy, dude. I'm
Oh, I
telling
know.
you, it'll make you daggum go insane.
Yeah, I have nightmares of it. I had one last night. It was
My,
literally one of the target bucks was there just taunting me the whole time, and I could not get my bow back. And it's just,
yeah. See, my deal with deer season. This is how I look at it. I'll feed these deer all summer, June all the way up to bow season comes in like religiously every week. I don't let them go without unless I'm just broke and can't get none until I get paid, and then I'm going
yeah,
to get some deer feed. I'm gonna keep them happy, but you can get them on a pattern. They're killable.
yeah.
They're coming to eat this time of day, usually the same time every day. They're coming to eat.
Hmm.
First 2, 3 weeks of bow season, prime time. Play the wind. If the wind's right, go hunt. If they come in, you're probably gonna get a shot. If you muff it up, that's on you. But the
Yeah,
deer gonna be there. They coming to eat because they're getting ready to rut. That's just their life cycle. They're gonna feed heavy, feed, and October rolls around, they're done with it. They're getting ready to go rut. They start running scrapes and rubs and starting to crank the rut machine up. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it's a crapshoot. I mean, everybody wants to wait on the rut this, rut that. The rut is overrated.
yeah.
That deer you've been looking at all summer and up until October, he'll be 10 miles away. First doe comes in heat, he's gone.
Yeah,
If you
man.
ain't sitting where that doe runs by you, you ain't gonna see him.
Well, dude, and look at the church spot. 8
Exactly.
shooter bucks. How many did I have in November? None.
None.
Not a single one. Well, that's not true.
None.
I had one, and he broke his rack last week of October.
See, I
So
had this buck back here all summer. I had 3 bucks in my hunt club all summer. I was feeding. This buck I killed 2 more. This buck stayed. The big 8 pointer that I actually was targeting, I wanted the most. I don't think he was as big as this deer, but he had more mass. His rack was beautiful.
yeah,
And he had a little bit bigger body. I think he was a little bit older. Or they might be the same age. I don't know. This deer just had a bigger, wider rack. And then there was another 9 pointer. I know that deer is probably 6 years old because he was just a daggone bull. His neck was swelled up in September. He looked like a daggone Brahma bull. He was a huge deer, but he didn't have no rack. He was old. I could tell he's on his downhill slide. As soon as October rolled around, the old buck didn't get another picture of him. He was gone. The 8 pointer, I still got pictures of him working scrapes. There was a scrape about 200 yards when I shot this deer. The new food plot I put in is where these deer were living all summer. I knew that food plot was going to pay off late season. That's why I got it put in. Because if I knew if I got those in there, they was going to hang around.
mm,
That's the whole key to the rut. If you don't hunt the does, you just wasting your time.
yeah,
The time to hunt the buck is early season. You can pattern him. When the rut rolls around, they're going to be with the girls. Wherever the girls at, that's where the buck is going to be at. If you ain't got no girls, you ain't gonna see no buck unless you're sitting on the trail he's using, which is hard to figure out sometimes because
yeah.
when they start rutting, they just get real random. They everywhere.
Well,
They
and even
looking,
like
they
hunting scrapes
cruising,
and stuff, man. I tried that this year, and
straight.
I did kill the buck that I killed this year over a scrape, but that's
Yeah,
the only time I'd seen a deer doing it, other than
you can kill them.
one
You can
little
kill
buck.
them over scrapes early. Like pre-rut. That's where they're coming by regular checking them. But after
Hmm.
the first couple of does come in heat, they're not using that junk no more. You might as
I
well kiss that goodbye.
Yeah, I moved my camera that was on the scrape in Monticello over to the ridge, and dude, I had a buck on camera over there the first night that I'd never seen before, and I only
Yeah,
moved it 200 yards,
yeah.
and so it just goes to show like they granted and I found three scrapes on the freaking trail that I take to get to this spot and didn't even know it,
Right.
and then I didn't go hunt it like an idiot, but I just I don't know, man. I feel like the rut. I mean, you've heard me complain about the rut for years at this point.
I hate it. I hate it.
I do. I do.
I
I
do
mean,
too. I
listen,
hate it.
I called that buck in. Wait, where is it? I can't. That you know what I'm talking about. I called him in, and I know I called him in because of the way of everything, how everything turned out and worked out. But that's the first year I've called in 5 years, 4 years,
Right. Yeah.
and I mean, I was trying everything this year. I was rattling, I was calling, um, sprayed estrus out of the stand just to see if it would maybe help. It's an old trick that someone told me one time.
Yeah.
And it what I picked up this year for the most part was you need to go, and this is so simple, and I knew it, but I didn't really fully believe it. I always thought I could bring them to me, but you need to go to them. You need to figure out where these deer are, right? And everybody
Yes.
knows that, but everyone
Yep.
also gets in their head, probably like I do, and like, oh man, if I go get this peanut flavor corn, I pour it out here, the neighbor's probably using regular corn. So if I use this, they're gonna like this more and they're gonna come to me. And can that work? Sure. But
Sometimes.
yeah, but like what I figured out when I found those deer on the back of this property and that scrape line that I didn't even know existed was okay, I'm just in the wrong spot. And I got way more traffic on that camera before it died than I do even now on the field. Which is, I will tell you this: me and Brock had this whole plan. That field is turning into a food plot this spring. Just
Do it.
I'm gonna do that for the summertime, and then I'll probably get with you on what late season plot to put in, because I also am starting to see that green is king right now. If you've got a food plot, you're gonna have deer on it. I mean,
That food plot I put in got that deer killed right there. No doubt in my
see,
mind.
and
If I
that's
hadn't
what I'm
had that
saying.
food plot, I probably wouldn't ever killed him.
And that's what I'm saying. So
Because
I'm making the transition. Plus, it's gonna save me a ton of
I
money
mean,
because
I had corn in the feeder in a block out right there. I shot that deer standing right in the middle, in front of that pipe feeder,
yeah,
beside the block. He never put his head down, smelled it. Then it wasn't interested in it. He was checking them does in that food plot.
yeah. Well, and
He
think
didn't
about it
care
too, like
near a bit about that corn or that feed or none of that junk. He walked right by it.
because deer. What I this kind of leads me to the next thing I want to ask you before we wrap up. But the one thing that I have picked up is hunting deer when they're moving naturally. I'm not gonna say it's easier, but they're a lot more calm. And I would tend to sort of argue that if you have a food plot or you have feed, they're going to go to that food plot first,
They
well
will.
before they go to the feed, because that's where
They
they're
will.
comfortable.
They will.
That's natural food, not a
It
yellow
is.
pile that came out of nowhere. And they're like, wait a minute, these yellow acorns weren't here 2 days ago.
Right.
What's
But
this
they
doing?
taste good, so we're gonna eat some of it.
Exactly. But the big bucks, like that 7 point that I showed you, he's got to be 6 years old. That
Yeah.
deer has never, like I said before, never daylighted, and he has only gone to the feed at night. And that he didn't go to the feed. There was that video I showed you. There was brand new, like a whole pile of feed that
Yeah.
day, and he walked right past it and was just following his trail, eating acorns, doing whatever he was doing. So
Right.
I feel like there's a lot that I personally learned this year when it comes down to deer movement, and the more natural, the better is kind of what I've sort of picked up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Because
I do.
early season when I was getting pictures of these bucks, I didn't have the food plot there. It was still growed up, but I had it in my mind I was going to put a food plot in there because it's a
Mhm.
perfect spot for it.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely perfect. There was a trail. There was two trails coming through there. I knew the deer was going to use them because these bucks was coming out of that bottom on one of them.
Mhm.
So I knew if I got a food plot in there late season, in the rut, it was going to pay off.
So when did you plant it?
It was
Was it late September?
no, it was second to last week of October when we planted it. You don't want to plant it too early because I planted wheat, oats, and ryegrass, a three-way mix. But if you plant it too early and it gets hot and dry, it won't. It don't do too good. The later you can wait, like into October, the better off you are.
How long does it usually take to green up?
As soon as it
I
comes
say
out
it's
of the
weather
ground,
dependent, but
as soon as it comes out of the ground, they're eating it. It's still green right now and still growing. Like they're just mowing it down every night. I got 5, 6, 7 does in it every night eating.
you're getting me
I
so
mean, it is
excited for
like
this year.
cows grazing out there. They'll just be lined up across there just eating. I'll
I
send
can't
you some
wait for
pictures
next year.
later. I mean, it's just nuts. But I ain't seen a whole lot of them in daylight, because it's late season. They done got skittish. They doing most of their junk at night. You'll have some young deer out there. I'll have some pictures of them right for dark, like last light. Sometimes in the morning I'll get a couple pictures of them, but they'll go over there and eat a little corn, and then they'll walk out there and eat in the food plot, or either they'll eat in the food plot and then they'll ease over there and eat them a little corn, just vice versa, whatever. The natural stuff, like you said, is better. But when I set this
So
spot up and I got these pictures of these deer, these big bucks, I knew if I got a food plot in there and drew the does in there, I had this deer at 30 yards during bow season. You remember the video I sent y'all? I got some footage of it.
which deer?
The deer I killed at 9 point.
Big one? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you remember? I almost killed him the day after I killed this buck behind the house. I would have tagged out back to back. Like I thought it was gonna happen. He was coming.
Yeah.
But see the thing you was talking about the natural feed, when they come in the corn, they're not the mature bucks, they're not just gonna walk in there. They have a hesitation zone. They're gonna stand out there 30, 40, 50 yards
Yeah.
and they're gonna check it. They're gonna look, they're gonna smell, they're gonna stand there, they're gonna look around. That's what he did. And by the time I got the camera on him, he was coming around through the brush, and I knew who it was. I seen his rack shining in the sun. I mean, it was early. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like it was 3 hours before dark, and it was about 88 degrees. And dude, I was sitting in there just baking in that ground blind. I'm talking about sweat just rolling. And that big old joker come up down there and stop. And I knew what he was doing. He throw it over head up like it, he was checking that wind. But I had a good wind. He couldn't smell me. But they got the hesitations on. They're not just gonna run up in there to eat. And I had laid my phone on top of my backpack beside me when I seen him coming. And I had got locked in on my bow, and I was ready. He was dead. If he'd walked up there, I'd smoked him, no doubt. He was done.
Yeah.
And my daggone phone fell off my backpack and hit. I got a rug in my blind. I put carpet under all my blinds just for that reason. It's quiet. You ain't got all them leaves under your feet and dirt and mud, and it's quiet.
Yeah.
But my phone fell off my backpack, and it kind of just that subtle noise. And there wasn't a whole lot of wind. It wasn't, it was kind of quiet, the bird chirping, And he heard it because I seen his ears come forward when it fell
Yeah.
because I was looking right at him. I was locked in on him. But I didn't know that had happened. I heard something. I thought a pine cone had fell and hit the top of the blind because that's what it sounded like. It said, boom. And he looked like that and he turned and was walking off. And he turned and come back and stood there again for about 30 seconds looking around. Then he turned and left. And I looked over and I seen that phone had fell. I was like, God, that just cost me the shot. That's all it took was that little bit of noise. He just didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
He
they're
was like
smart.
he just the
They're
jokers is
smart.
cagey, boy. They ain't no joke.
I heard somebody say, forget who it was, but somebody said if you can get, and me and Tony Washnock talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, where if you can kill, he actually, you know what? Tony sent me the quote, and the quote was, if you can kill a deer in the Southeast, you can kill a deer anywhere because they are the cagiest. And I'm not saying that's fact, but I mean, I've been hunting these things now for 6 years, and the amount of deer I've seen compared to the amount of deer that I've killed, the amount of deer that have spooked compared to the amount of deer that I've killed, man, it's crazy. That's why I stopped. That's the whole reason. Well, not the whole reason. One of the main reasons why I stopped hunting so high, because where I'm at, I've got 8 to 10 foot. I can tuck back into some of the brush and all that, all the like briars and whatnot that we have around, and especially early season too, with all the branches and everything, switching over to the hang on setups. I can get 8 to 10 foot up, and as long as you don't move, they don't see you. You don't get skylined. You're right there. You do have to get closer, but you're right there. And I feel like that style, because I've used it this year more than not, I haven't spooked any deer. Now, it wasn't the deer I wanted to kill. It was always the spike or, fawn or whatever. But I had a fawn walk right under me, and she had no idea I was even there, So,
They ain't old enough to know them better. They ain't been
yeah.
educated.
I mean, I even had some of those spikes look directly at me, like what you were saying with your buck. And they just were like, huh. And then just went right back to food. They did not even care. So
It didn't
I
alert
do
them. They didn't
know.
see nothing they didn't like.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like I have had it happen though, where some deer I had another spike in a different spot, didn't even smell me. He had to have seen me. Had to have seen me. And he comes parallel, right, right up the ridge next to me, like 40 yards away, and stops. I mean, straight beeline to him from where I was and stops and just doesn't like something. Just turns around and goes right back down the ridge and goes up and out. So I mean, Georgia deer are jumpy for the most part. I mean, they really are. Um, One thing I want to ask you though before we wrap this up. So we have CWD in the state now. Do you think it's kind of a two-part question? Do you think that as those numbers go up, because we know they're going to, do you think that that's going to have an impact on our baiting laws? And if it does, how do you think that's going to change the way that all of us in Georgia hunt? Obviously, there's going to be people that still bait, but for the guys that go by the books, do you think it's going to make it better or worse? I mean, what's your outlook on that?
I don't think it'll change much.
For what reason, though?
from what I've read and what I've heard and the videos I've watched, that I mean, it doesn't spread as much like people think at bait sites. You know what I'm saying? I think
I
we've
completely
discussed
agree.
this on the chat group sometimes,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, we've
because
talked about this a few times. I just wasn't sure with the developments and like, the numbers of CWD deer and everything and kind of the way that that always seems to go in other states. Because I talked to Lindsey Thomas about this when the first case was found. And
yeah,
he, at the time, said, no, he was like, I don't think we're going to see any sort of, impact on the baiting laws or anything. But I'm
probably
sure the
not.
other people in like Wisconsin or wherever said that too. And now look how that is. They don't let them bait because of CWD. And I mean, I had my mom, dude. She texted me a couple weeks ago a freaking news article talking about zombie deer and this virus that's killing all these deer. And she's like, "Do you know about this? They say it could be transmissible to humans." And I'm like, "Mom, it's not." I was
That's
like,
not.
"You're freaking out over nothing." That there's two or three, maybe four cases in the state. They're all in South Georgia, and even if they were up here, they don't. The, nothing happens. Like the deer usually die from other causes than the disease. I think.
Most of the time.
Yeah, well,
E-
and Chip
EHD
told
is
me
killing more deer than that ever will.
yes, and Chip told me that he actually knows of a study that they had a pen raised deer that caught CWD, and she still had twins for 2 years before she died.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like
mean,
it's not as bad as people say it is.
no, it's not.
So
I mean, there's other things that deer get are way worse.
yeah,
I mean, look at all the deer people been finding in their ponds this year from
yeah,
EHD killing them because it's been so hot.
yep.
I mean, the midges and the insects are so thick. That's how that spreads. I mean, it's just wearing
It,
them out.
something's wrong when you've got Joro spiders to worry about in November.
Bro, them things is ridiculous.
Oh, do you know how many? I probably killed 100 of them this year, at least. I mean, I look like a wizard going through the woods now. Like when it's summertime, springtime, early season, I have a stick. I have a designated stick. I pick one up every
Hell yeah,
single
you
time.
better.
I'm just waving it around, like making spider web
Look,
cotton
I
candy.
tell you, I walk like this and have my bow out in front of me like this, holding it like this,
Shoot,
catching all the
I don't
deer.
even do that because then they get on your hands. I'll get the stick. I literally will. I make it a point. It's almost like there's a season for these things, and I feel kind of bad too because I have looked it up, and they do help in some ways with catching like wasps and stuff. So if anything, I say we need them, but we don't need that many of them. Like when I park my trailer on the side of the house next to the brush, and 2 days go by and there's like four of these little suckers connected to it, and I got to
Cover it
take my
up.
shovel and just start pinging them off each freaking web. That's a problem. That's a problem.
And their web is like, I don't know, it's like super sticky. It's like it's
Yes,
not like a regular spider web.
dude, it's strong. It's like
Like you
steel.
can't wipe that junk off of you. Like
Nope,
it sticks like Velcro.
nope. I walked into one
It's
about had a
crazy.
heart about had a heart attack because they. I know they can't hurt us, but they are some gnarly looking spiders, right? And I don't
Yeah,
mind spiders at all, but when they look creepy like that, they make my skin crawl a bit. And so I walked into one on the church property earlier this summer, dude, and like got caught up in the web just a little bit. I actually had to use force to get that thing off me. Like I'm
yeah.
yanking and stuff, and it's
Like it's
just not going. And I finally took the stick I had and was like, bro, like hit it hard, and then it flowed off into the wind, and the spider's just freaking out. I ended up killing the spider too, but
it reminds me of like some Spider-Man junk. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
sees that junk out of his wrist and like it sticks to everything. That's kind of what that junk is.
Well,
It's
dude, it's creepy too because when you're walking through, like
wow.
I don't know if you've got like a defined path when you walk in, but on the church, I have two different sections that I can walk in. Like one side is where I walk in to feed, the other side is where I walk in to hunt.
Yeah.
And where I walk in to feed, it's like a tunnel, right? Like
Right.
it's
Right.
thick brush on both sides, and then there's like this tunnel in the canopy above you. Well, if you look up, I think I counted 15 of those suckers above my head. And I started low key freaking out because I'm like, all it's going to take is one to fall down, and I'm screaming bloody murder because I'm just not going to be ready for it.
I
And
had one behind the house back here. I got it. There's a ditch that I had on my four-wheeler trail that I had to cross, and it's pretty deep. And
yeah,
one had built a web over that ditch, like Like when I went under it with the four-wheeler, like it went over my head. Like, and I guarantee you, no lie, Eric, that spider was big as my hand. That's the
Oh,
biggest
dude, they're
jaws I've
huge.
seen. Like that thing was huge. I
Yeah.
bet that web was 8, 10 foot across. Like it was ginormous. I never touched it. I never messed with it. And that thing stayed back there till it got cold
Yeah.
in the same spot. And I would
You know,
ride under that thing and sit there on the four wheeler like this and look right up at that spider would be right there above my head and I'll just look at it.
you know what we need to do?
It
We
was
need to
like
get
cool.
with
It was like cool as hell.
we need to get a meeting with DNR and have a Joro spider season put in effect. Because I'm
Well, I
telling you,
guarantee
that
you that
thing
one
would be.
back there would have been a boner
Oh
because it
yeah,
was
yeah,
big.
dude. All you need is one of these and a bow, and you can
Oh,
tag out. You can tag out easily, and the blades will be fine. I don't know if you find the
yeah,
arrow, but
wouldn't even dull them.
yeah, it'd be all right. But man, I don't know. I feel like you've been in the game for a while, and I know like how things have changed in the past few years, and I don't want to say decades to make you sound old, but probably decades. Because you are the most versed between you and Josh Criswell, the two people that I go to when I'm like, hey, I don't know what else to do. What do I
Right.
do here? Like you guys know your stuff. So I wanted to cover some of this and get your opinion on like potential, regulation changes and all that. Because I mean, I have a feeling it's going to happen. I just for whatever reason it comes up every year, and eventually there's going to be people that are like, yeah, let's try a $1 year. Let's see what happens. Or
It's
five
possible.
years, $1. And
I mean,
debating and all of that. I don't know. I'm curious what Georgia deer season is going to look like in the next 10 years. You know,
I wouldn't be opposed to one buck limit, but let's kill a doe before you kill a buck.
I like it. I agree. I just
That's
need to
just
find
my
spot
that's the
that I
way
can.
I feel.
I just need to find a
I
spot with
mean,
more
you
does.
got guys. I know everybody has their own agenda when they hunting, and to each their own. I'm a deer hunter. I'm not a horn hunter. I mean, I like to eat them more. Like to look at them. But I mean, I'll shoot a buck just like the next guy will. But I'm gonna shoot my share of those because I'm gonna fill my freezer up. That's number one priority,
Yeah,
regardless. But
I need to
I
get
mean,
to
you
that.
got people that hunt all year. They just hunting one deer.
Yeah,
That's all
I
they
can't.
want.
I've tried that, and I can't
I
do it.
can't do it. I can't do
That's
it.
what we
I
we
can't
talked
do it.
about that on the other
I
episode too
cannot
with
do it.
Tony, and we were. I guess this is the perfect way to end this episode. Is the the biggest thing that, and I know I sound like a broken record, but the biggest thing that people care about these days is big bucks, and we have them. We've got 150s, 160s. I know there's a
Sure,
200 walking around in Georgia somewhere, but
somewhere.
it's like I don't find it as like it's gonna have to be something really substantial for me to be like, okay, I'm passing every single deer
Yeah,
to kill this one
like
buck. And he'd have to be like a just no doubt in my mind, like potential, I don't want to say potential county record because that's a push, but at least a 150. If a 150 popped up on camera next year, I might pass a few. But then I'll just go find another spot that's got does, or if we still have $2, which we probably will, go
yeah,
kill one
that's
of those.
that's that's what you want to do. I mean, you don't want to shoot no does in your big buck spot that you're trying to kill a buck and booger everything up. I understand that, but on the other side of the coin, you still got to shoot some does to get the herd right. I mean,
Yep.
if you got 50 does and 5 bucks on your place, man, they're all jacked up. You don't want that. That's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, you're gonna start seeing it in the genetics for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, it's your hunting experiences don't go in decline. You want the buck, but you're not gonna see bucks. You're just gonna see a whole pile of does and little bitty bucks all day long, all season long. You're never gonna find nothing you want. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got nothing against one buck. That's everybody's got their own agenda.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't hate on nobody. If you want to hunt one buck and that's your whole deer season, go for it.
yeah,
I'm
more
happy
deer for
for it.
us. More deer for us to kill.
Yeah,
Oh man.
because I'm gonna lay them down. I got 4 left, and I'll be completely tagged out. I doubt I'll kill all 4. I mean, completely tag out in 2 weekends, but I'm gonna try to kill at least one more, and that'll
Dude,
be
that'd be
10 deer
crazy.
on the year.
That'd be crazy if you completely tagged out. You'd probably be the first person I know who legally
I've
did it.
done it. I've done it one time.
See, I know a few guys that have done it illegally, and I'm not gonna say their names, and hopefully that's not incriminating. But uh,
Lord.
let's just say that there's been things said. I'm just gonna go with that. But yeah, I mean it is crazy how we have that many tags because I haven't seen. I mean, I think in one spot I might have 6 does.
I wish we would go back to 5 deer, 2 bucks and 3 does.
I'd be fine with that. I'd have a much higher chance of tagging out, which
I
doesn't
would.
really matter, but it would.
I'd have been tagged out the second week of November. I'd have been done.
I need to find better spots, man. This is killing me.
I really do. I wish we would. I wish they would go back to 5 deer, but I know it won't never happen.
No, you give people enough opportunity and all that, they're gonna take it. I mean, hell, if I could find a spot that's late season archery, I'd go to the end of January. But
Right.
I don't have. I mean, I guess I could call Hunter, but he's kind of fell off the map a little bit. God knows what's going on with him. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, 2 weeks from now, my season's probably over, and then it's get this whole downstairs cleaned up and get this new setup completely done, and then tack, and then the bow shoot, and then food plots, and we're right back at it again. So, man, look,
Yeah.
tell
I mean,
everybody where they can find you. You run a YouTube channel, AA Outdoors TV. So I know there's
yeah.
that. I know people need to follow that, but where else can they find you before we wrap this thing up?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, AA Outdoors TV, all of them. Y'all go like, share, follow us, subscribe to YouTube channel. I just got brand new camera. Actually came today. A DJI Action 5. I've been waiting on because I got rid of my GoPro, so that'll help a lot because I'm tired of using my phone. It's hard to do on your phone. I don't
Yeah.
have the setup for my phone. I got all the setup for that camera, but I sold all my GoPros because them things is junk. I'll never buy another GoPro. It take my advice,
Duly
don't buy a
noted.
GoPro. Get one of them.
Dude, I might have to do that because when we start doing in person podcasts, I'm gonna need 2 cameras set up. I
Get a
mean, how much did
DJI.
that one cost?
I got it on eBay for $219. They're like $350 brand new, but they have a 4 hour battery life,
Well,
240 minutes.
did do a 3 hour one, and it still doesn't drop. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
It honestly made me mad. I spent 3 hours on this other podcast, and they kept telling me, "Yeah, man, a couple weeks." I think it was November 19th or October 19th or something. Never dropped. So 3 hours of my life, not wasted. It's a good time, but it's like, dude, what the heck?
What
like,
happened?
like
But yeah,
what? It's not that hard. So
hopefully I'll get another deer video before the end of the season, but that'll help out because then I'll have my second angle camera.
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. Your stuff is
Yeah.
is always good. It's always fun to watch, and you do throw the logo in there in every intro, so I do appreciate that. So I'm a little
Hey, I
biased.
got I got to represent for my guy,
I
man.
know, I know. I wish there was a way for me to do that with you guys, but there's. I mean, I don't really. I share the stuff as much as I can, but
Yeah, I mean I'm good with that, but
yeah. Well, we get you on here from time to time, so cool, man. Well, look, thank you for coming on, Andy. I know it was last minute. I really appreciate it. Everybody go like, subscribe, follow. You know the deal. And brother, I guess till next time.
yes, sir. I appreciate it. Had fun. Always fun getting on here with you.
Awesome, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, man. See you.